Hi, beautiful one. And this week we are talking forgiveness. That's right, forgiveness. How can we move on when someone has wronged us? How can we move on if we're not even aware that we've wronged someone else? Come on, let's go. Let's have this conversation. I'm NatashaJohn-Baptiste, life coach, peer mentor, and I'm here for you. Think about this, right? You've said something to someone, you've gone home, you're beating yourself up about it. Think of this. Someone has said something to you. You're livid. You are livid. You're like, how on earth could they ever talk to me like that? No, that's it. We are done. I'm never going to forgive them, and they can just jog on and get on with their lives. Have you ever found yourself in that situation? And I'm sure on more than one occasion, we can actually say, yes, we have found ourselves in that situation before. So if that's the case, why forgive? Why would I be having this conversation with you right now, talking about forgiveness? Well, forgiveness, it brings relief. It's something that all of us need to do because unfortunately, in this world, in this day and age, in this life that we live in, the world isn't a place where people freely come and embrace and show the love. It's a very heartless and unkind terrain that we live in. Unfortunately, there are snippets of love, there are snippets of goodness, but there is a lot of unforgiveness. And this is what stops us in our tracks, really, that unforgiving spirit. And there's nothing wrong with being upset with somebody. There's nothing wrong with being upset with someone. But it's when we take it to a level where we say we'll never forgive someone, forgetting that we are all infallible, that we all make mistakes. But why forgive? Also, it impacts us in the long run. When we hold on to something for so long that it's just there in our heart, that it's become a hardened, you know, when you get calluses on your fingers, that hardened bit of skin, it impacts on us, doesn't it? Those calluses make our hands look horrible. So the callus on our heart, which we can say is unforgiveness, it hardens. And that is what's going to make us sick. And it's not a nice thing. Being unforgiving isn't a nice thing. And I know I have probably spoken on this topic already, on unforgiveness, but it's always good to revisit and retrace our steps, isn't it? So we can see if we were better than we were before and see if we have been able to tackle the topic of being unforgiving. So one, it brings relief. Two, it impacts us in the long run. And three, the impact is that we beat up ourselves about it. So if we feel that we've not forgiven someone when we spoke to that person in a harsh way, then that's going to impact on us because we're going to worry, oh no. And then if someone else has impacted us, they might not even be aware that they've upset us and that they're in need of forgiveness. So how can we learn to forgive? Now, remember I spoke earlier about that letting go, right? I'm going to give you an analogy. And this was an experiment done with monkeys. So what the monkeys would do, there'd be peanuts in a box. They'd have to put their hands in the hole in the box and take the nut out. So these monkeys, what they were doing was they would find the nut, put their hands in, but they wouldn't let go of the nut because obviously they're thinking, oh, let go of the nut, they've not got the food. So they put the hand in the box, they found the nut, trying to get the nut out. They can't get the nut out because they wouldn't let go. So one, say if they were in the wilderness, that would impact them because if they never learn to let that go, they'd never eat. And that's the point, isn't it? Learning to let go, all they needed to do was let go and take their hands out. And I don't know if they were meant to drop it into a hole or something like that, but that was what the study showed, that those monkeys would not let go of the nuts, so they'd never get the food. So it's important that we learn to forgive, and in that learning to forgive, we learn to let go. So what are some techniques then in learning to let go and forgive, really? How can we learn to forgive? One of the things that's really great is the fact of not revisiting the past. Now, for many, many reasons, we might keep on playing that story around and round in our heads. Again, it's not helping. We know this is a new time of the year. We're moving forward, so let's move forward as we mean to go on. So the first point is really not revisiting the past. And also the next point is to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for being unforgiving. Forgive yourself for not rising above, because that's what we have to do sometimes. When we hold on to that, like I said, forgiveness, we're only harming ourselves. So forgive ourselves for not forgiving. And the next technique is to forgive. And not just say, okay, I forgive, but definitely going up to that person and saying, do you know what? You upset me, but it's no big thing. And listen, let's just move on in camaraderie. Let's move in love, and let's move forward positively. And that's it. It's easier said than done, isn't it? When someone's wronged us, it's so easy to walk away and just say, I'm not going to deal with that person. But that forgiveness, remember, it's for yourself. It's for yourself. So by being able to forgive, we let go, just like that monkey, that we let go, and we are free from being burdened about what someone did or what we did to someone else. The last point is telling those other ones that have wronged us, or maybe what we've wronged, asking for forgiveness and telling them that we forgive them. Because at the end of the day, it will bring relief. By us stating and by us letting go, by us stating that we're forgiving, by us going up to that person, giving them a hug and showing them love. And maybe you don't give them a hug. Maybe saying, do you know what, I'm going to quash this now because it's only impacting on my life and we need to move forward from this, and that's what's important. So we never know, we may well have wronged someone ourselves in the meantime, and because we are in that forgiving spirit, we don't even realise. And again, that too is something we're upsetting people all the time without realising it. So we can't rise above it. Jesus Christ, if you're a believer in Christianity, he said, he who is without sin cast the first stone, which means we're all sinners. But it doesn't mean that we can't be decent sinners when it comes to that role of forgiveness. So let's try going forward, showing that love and that concern and letting go. Because when we let go, we are free. We're free. I'm NatashaJohn-Baptiste, life coach, peer mentor, and I'm here for you. All right? Please check out the website and see what different things that I can do in order to help you along when it comes to many of these different topics, such as resilience, forgiveness. It all culminates in this one thing, and that is us leveling up and becoming better versions of ourselves. So beautiful one, you take care, and I'll see ya on the other side.